Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of my most excellent videos. In front of us we have the ATS-20 Plus. This is an AM, FM, long-wave, shortwave, single sideband portable receiver. During this video, I'm performing an evening medium wave band scan. First we'll go over features, and second we'll head right into the evening band. So let's talk about the ATS-20 Plus, a pretty awesome radio you can find on Amazon or eBay for around 30 to 40 bucks. I'll have links to the paid section down below. Just check it out, see if it's for you. If it is, awesome. This radio is definitely for the tinkerer. If you've been looking at this radio, by all means, pick one up. You'll have a lot of fun. You can flash it with new firmware, which this one does have new firmware, and we'll talk about that. You can also do some modifications. I did the battery percentage mod. The new firmware had a little spot over here in the corner. It tells us our battery percentage, and this radio now has that because it's a simple resistor mod. You just add 2 resistors, done. It's that simple to work on. So yeah, let's check it out, the ATS-20 Plus. Feature-wise, right away, when you get your radio, you'll notice that it's made of aluminum enclosure. Pretty cool for 30 bucks. I'm liking this. So we got that. The front and back are PCB materials, so you get the strong front and back sections. Nice. And they're put together with standard Phillips screws. Take it apart, take the top section off to access your speaker, and then you can access your Arduino chip, because this radio runs off of a Arduino Nano microcontroller. It looks just like this guy right here. Simple, and it works fantastic, and you can program it. That's the fun thing about these microcontroller radios. So you got that, and yeah, do a lot with this thing. So going to the front, where all the business happens. Actually, I'll keep it turned so you can see the buttons here. Right away, you'll see it's got a tiny screen. Yeah, that thing's 1-inch screen. My finger, look how the difference in that is. But I'll be honest with you, the text on this thing is so easy to read because it's an OLED screen. And that OLED really has a high contrast factor to it. And when I turn it on, you'll see in the video, that's very easy to read. And the new firmware adds so the numbers are blockier and easier to read as well. I do like that. So the new firmware is the Goshanti, made by Goshanti. It's a version 1.118, and it's, I believe, called ATS_EX. And I'll have links down below so you can get to that firmware section if you're looking for that. It's pretty basic. It gives you instructions how to flash it to the hardware, and off you go. But your standard firmware is going to have all these functions here. As you can see, it's all clearly labeled band plus, band down. There's no presets on this radio, so if you're looking for that, pass on this radio. But if you're looking for a true tuner's radio, this is the one. Definitely a lot of fun. Volume up, volume down, standard, step, bandwidth, mode, and AGC. That's all very basic. That comes with the radio. Now, the new software firmware that I put on here changes all that, and we'll talk about what those buttons do now. So yeah, let's go ahead and just turn this a little bit more. So we have the band up button. Just as it says, when you press that button, you can then adjust the bands up and down with the encoder knob. If you press and hold that band plus button, it'll quickly cycle upwards through the bands. Band down button, if you click it once, it takes you to the menu. There's a 3-page menu in here with a bunch of options, which is absolutely amazing. If you press and hold the band minus button down, it cycles down the bands very quickly. So interesting. And once you're in that menu selection, you can change the pages with the band plus button. And then, of course, you use the encoder knob to move around the menu items and press it into select. So a lot of fun. We got a volume up button. Of course, you just press it once and then you can adjust your volume up and down with the encoder, or you can press and hold for a quick volume up. With the volume down, just press and hold it to go quickly down in volume, or tap it once to mute the volume. I'll be doing a lot of muting with that volume minus. Step is what it is. You can change the stepping. There's a lot of steps involved. With the medium wave, you can go to 1 kilohertz, and then with single sideband, of course, you have a ton of options as well. But I won't be really heading into single sideband territory. I'll keep it simple in this video. But yeah, your step button is really nice to have. The step button also allows you to do a signal strength indicator, which is really nice. So when you long press that, a little bar will appear at the bottom, and it's our signal strength. And it's very handy, especially when I'm tuning this Terk Advantage Passive Loop that's going to be connected to it. So it does come with a whip antenna, a 29-inch whip, And you can actually tune in medium wave stations with it. It's just that it's not as good as using a directly connected passive loop and manually tuning the stations in. Just something to keep in mind when you get your radio, that you can immediately use it on medium wave. It's just mainly for strong stations. Maybe at night you'll get some fainter stations or distant stations with it, but typically you'll need the passive loop. And that's this guy back behind here, which we'll hook up in a little bit. The Terk Advantage Passive Loop. Hanging out in the background. Waiting to be hooked up. Yeah, we'll be turning that around. A lot of fun. So yeah, we got the step out of the way. AGC, that's usually automatic gain control, but the function of this new software, if I press that, it turns the display off. That's kind of nice. It can reduce any kind of RFI or save the battery. So note that if you do that with this software. Long press to enter synchronous detection mode in single sideband. I don't believe the old software had that at all. It didn't. If I remember right, it didn't have a menu or anything like that. So absolutely fantastic what they've added to this radio. And of course the mode button, you short press it and it takes you to your upper sideband, lower sideband modes, AM, and of course CW modes, which is nice. All with a press of a button. You got your encoder knob, which we'll be using to tune through. And of course it presses in for selecting. Very nice. And then if we turn it around, we'll see that aluminum enclosure continues. And going to the back of the radio, we have ATS-20 Plus. The Plus is actually means you get some extra features. I believe you get an FM bandpass filter. You get a better encoder knob. And then you get this interesting Type-C charging. So you got two jacks here. The top one is to change the firmware on the Arduino. That's the USB onboard. And then down here we have our Type-C dedicated charger for the built-in lithium battery. Yes, you get a built-in lithium battery, 850 milliamps, to get you going. Love that. Power switch, turn the radio on and off. Charge status LED, headphone jack, a female BNC connector, and then we have a switch for the FM, AM, single sideband mode. So you have FM or AM. That's nice because I think that's telling you which part of that bandwidth or bandpass filter, to use. So that's nice. So we'll go ahead and turn this back around, hook up the antenna, and start tuning away. Yeah, this is the fun part. I like this part. So yeah, hooking up the Terk Advantage Passive Loop. This bad boy right here. I get it close up? No, I can't even get it close up. Anyway, it's it right here, back here. It's going to be the left of the radio. I'll be turning it. You have to actually point the edge of that loop towards the station you're trying to receive. Now you can use the various loop antennas as long as they have a direct connection. Well, you can also try to use the loop in conjunction with your whip if you don't have a connector right away. I did that for a little while. It worked. So here is the connector. This is a male BNC with a little patch cable. And at the end of the patch cable, you can see we have a female 1/8 or 3.5 millimeter. And then hooked up to it, I have a standard TS cable leading to the Terk Advantage hooked up directly. So we're going to go ahead and attach it to the radio. Sweet. I love BNCs. Those are nice. I remember these from way back in my networking days. 10 base T. Remember that? Anybody? I'm sure some of you guys know. And IT. All right, cool. So we're going to go ahead and turn this on with the on switch on the back. And let's get tuning. There's our boot up screen. Start at the bottom of the band here. As you can see, I don't know if I need to bring this any closer, probably. Let's see if I can get this. That's about as close as I'm going to get. Okay, so you can see right away we have the modulation type AM. Our bandwidth's up there. It says 3 kilohertz. Over here, M is muted volume. Of course, there's a number there, a numerical value for your volume. Here's your frequency. It says 520. And of course, our units, kilohertz. You can change that to megahertz when you're in shortwave. Down here, we have the band we're on, medium wave. Stepping is 10 kilohertz, and our battery percentage is 98%. So great. So I remember, I got a little list of stations to my left here as well. Put it on my lap. I remember picking up Cuba last night, so let's see if we can pick that up. So we're going to go to 530. Turn the volume. Okay, so right now we're not picking up Cuba. We're picking up CHLO, Brampton, Ontario. 441 miles. They say it's 250 watts. I haven't picked this up in a while, so it's nice to hear it. Bandwidth.
Weeknights from 6 to 8.
Cloudy skies and healthy weather tonight. Temperatures falling to the lower 30s. Even more clouds on the way going into Tuesday with highs to the lower 40s. Snow will be likely Tuesday night. Accumulations will be well under an inch. Currently 35 degrees.
Nightlight with Pete Schwaba. Aaron Zommers, so you watched the film called Hot Frost.
Okay, this should be WAUK, Jackson, Wisconsin. It's about 70 miles to the north, 400 watts at night. Very cool. All right, let's keep going.
There is not. I think they're...
Got a mix of stations there. St. Louis was coming in clear the other night, so it just depends on the conditions.
Special of 15% savings and free shipping. That's 120life.com. Use coupon code Christmas at checkout.
You've probably heard about the efforts by automakers to take AM radio out of new vehicles. This initiative has gained momentum during the Biden administration with the push for EVs. So as we enter a new political era in 2025, it's crucial that voices like ours and the content you hear on this radio station...
WIND, local, Chicago, and I forgot to mention, I always forget this. I gotta make sure to show you. It's 11:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm near Chicago, Illinois, USA again. I know I mentioned Chicago, but I didn't mention the time. So that's the current time. All right, cool. Central Standard Time. Add 5 hours for UTC. All right, great. Yes, this is looking good. I like this radio. This is a really fun radio, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and turn it up.
Home, if you own any real estate, it is crucial you protect your property and your equity from these criminals. Now...
Now they lose Aleem McNeil. Now they lose Carlton Davis. Who knows if he's going to be back? Montgomery's out. Like, I do think it is a battle of attrition, a war of attrition that they are going to ultimately lose out to. Because now...
I got a retort at the top of this radio. So, the 590, this is WKZO Kalamazoo, Michigan, about 140 miles to the east. I believe it goes to low power at night. It's coming in good. A lot of times it's coming in garbled at night. So, yeah, very nice.
Was a guy like Montgomery, and now you've lost all the players on defense, and now you're asked...
You got a brand new baby, a toddler, a marriage hanging on by a thread, sharing with the left because she didn't have a car. I mean, it was not good. Now remember, I'll show you the program.
So yes, I think that business guy, 600 WMT, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, 175 miles, 5,000 watts to the west. Now cardinal directions, north, south. The back of the radio is west, heading out that way is west, and heading towards the camera is east. So there you go. Cool. Just so you know. Let's keep tuning.
You don't look it's going to be a problem, but I think it's a problem. The Baltimore team that James Allen goes on. Well, I'm going to get 50 deep on it.
I think that a lot of this is part of the Supreme Court and community issues and other issues. Way down, the anxiety evaporates. The old word we used to use is you are empowered. Remember being empowered for things? That was a long time ago. Yes.
So 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It's a local station, but it runs a low power again to at night. I think they turn the antennas away as well. But as you can see, I'm using this as a guide to tune my Terk Advantage Passive Loop. There's a tuning capacitor on that loop that you have to adjust every time I adjust the frequency to get the best result. Both are highly selective, the receiver and the loop, so they work in conjunction very well together. And I just watch those little bars and try to get the best gain as possible. And of course, if I turn it right now, turn it low, you can see it goes down. And if I bring it back up, you can see I'm bringing the level back up. So that's neat, and I can just do that as a visual aid.
Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, country music is CFCO, Chatham, Ontario. Nice. Like grabbing this one. This is 310 miles, and it's 6,000 watts to the northeast. Very cool.
That international, national, state, and local news affecting the black community. Listen to the Black Information Network on the iHeartRadio app or log.
So WMFN, Peatone, Illinois, fairly local to me. I can pick it up during the day as well. The station here at night is broadcasting at 1,000 watts and it's 1.6 kilowatts. And yeah, it's 75 miles away. Can't remember how far away it was. All right, cool.
Educational opportunities and the
there you go. Can hover on the music, but 650 Nashville, Tennessee, WSM. Yeah, Grand Ole Opry stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pick up some nice music here. Sometimes it comes in really strong as the night progresses. Very cool.
Across the country, and there's still a lot of players waiting to be signed, a lot of rumors, and now we go from the hot stove to the warm stove, and it's a waiting game. It reminds you that, like, this is how baseball free agency and off-season usually is. There's always a slot.
So here's 660, the fan, I believe, WFAN, New York, New York, 750 miles to the northeast. Not bad. Yeah, sometimes very difficult to get. The signal's tough, but as you can see, I can 1 kilohertz tune back down. I could also engage the single sideband and go lower sideband to get away from 670. 670, the score, is a Chicago station. It's the strongest station around me, and it pegs the meter, and it kind of bleeds into the 660 quite a bit. But yeah, we're able to pick it up here by just detuning a little bit.
Waiting period right now. I mean, we're waiting on Max Fried to be official. Yankee fans that are impatient want to see that news and see that press conference. The medicals aren't right. The contract didn't go through.
The things he's talking about he's correct. The nutrition, his training, working on that. They almost have like a European spa up there now at Hallis Hall. So he must take advantage of that, right? They got the best cold tubs and masseuses and nutritionists, and they got 50 million people on staff up there to help these guys stay healthy and get back for the next game.
It's just bad that we have to talk about, or he has to talk about, taking hits and where he is, you know, physically and all that kind of stuff.
So here you go, WSCR, home of the Cubbies, Chicago. Yeah, you can see the meters pegged, signal strength, poof, all the way over. Sweet. All right.
Time of year, and it's going to be different for him, you know.
Pick up anything? Nope.
SMU going up. Now, that's not a night game. Is that correct?
No, it's a noon game. They're doing the whiteout, but it's a noon game. So SMU gets a little bit lucky.
Oh, very, very lucky. Very lucky. I guess they were trying to be fair. You're already going up north.
Okay, so Sports Station 690. We're going pretty far. CKGM, Montreal, Quebec, 763 miles. Nice.
Between the two, and then Texas and Clemson.
Will pay for these infrastructure costs around the state. Isn't that lovely? Originally, toll collection was supposed to stop in the late 1980s. Then they decided to do these bonds. Now, Kasich wants to break another promise, and this.
So here's WLW, Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles to the east. Always comes in good. They always pretty much talking about travel, trucking industry. Pretty cool. My dad was an over-the-road trucker, so I can relate to what they're saying here. Stories my dad would tell me.
Radius. But no, they changed that legislation so it could be.
So that voice there, 710, is WOR, New York, New York. Very cool.
Won a game after showing up on Tuesday. He almost won a game because Sean McVie is such a smart quarterback whisperer. Well, McVie told him, go and sign with Kevin O'Connell because O'Connell came from the Ram coaching staff.
720 WGN, Chicago.
New York, he could have signed a lot of places. Where did he want to go? He went to Minnesota. So.
Oh, I got some Christmas music because we are in December. Nice. This is 740 CFZM, Toronto, Ontario. 460 miles to the northeast. Always sounds good. Loving this station.
Morning news. Affected homes should boil their water for now.
All your latest news.
Vice President's visits generating some social media buzz.
Weather and traffic.
We will update you on the traffic impact as the VP arrives.
Today, starting at 5.
95.5 WSB.
Atlanta's News and Talk.
If the holiday hustle...
There you go. You got the call letters. WSB, Atlanta, Georgia. That's 630 miles to the southeast. Very nice.
Mark McKay, my friends at John Foy wish you and your family a safe and happy holiday.
I don't know about this complex system. It's going to kill somebody. And Whoopi Goldberg there suggesting the way insurance, if you pay into your car insurance company and you don't take any money out, he's going to get into a car crash. Do you get your money back? Of course not. That's not how insurance works.
WJR, Detroit, Michigan, 260 miles. Yeah, so I'm keeping busy with my left hand here, turning the loop back and forth to where the station is, and then also tuning it. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. Grab yourself one of these radios. You really enjoy it. And definitely if you can adjust, if you got access and know how to program, definitely upload the firmware. They provide the firmware. They give you the tools to do it. Pretty much it's all free. So you just have to know how to do it on your computer. And yeah, you can get yourself an awesome radio out of it. This thing's just fantastic. All right, let's keep going.
Any sport, take more or less on that projection.
Expiration date on me, which, I know I'm going to die next week or something. I wouldn't do anything, but other people would.
So here's WABC, New York, New York, 750 miles.
But no, in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, that's why I'm glad nobody knows their fate or has a crystal ball, because a lot of sickos out there.
Stable condition. A spinach-eating sailor and a Belgian boy reporter are among the characters becoming public domain. January 1st is the expiration date on the copyrighted creations made in 1929. This means early versions of Popeye the Sailorman and Tintin can be used without permission or payment to the creator. They'll be joined by Ernest Hemingway's novel A Farewell to Arms, early Alfred Hitchcock films, and several animations starring Mickey Mouse.
That's interesting. Okay, 780 WBBM News Radio, Chicago.
News to report. Let's begin with the good. The Bulls were able to hold off.
Weather Center. Cloudy with a 30% chance of showers for this morning. A southwest wind of 30 kilometers an hour expected throughout the day with a high of +5. For tonight, cloudy, wind up to 15 kilometers an hour. A low of -2 with a wind chill near -6. Cloudy with a 60% chance of flurries or showers for the day tomorrow with a high of
So right now we're listening to 800. This is Canada. This is CKLW, Windsor, Ontario, 270 miles. All right, so this video is getting pretty long already, so I don't know how far we're going to get. Let's keep going.
unwrap more savings this holiday season at United Ag and Turf's Jingle and Garage Sale. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com for more. We'll make you. We're United. And 12/31/24. Some restrictions apply to for details.
Hi, I'm Brad Barson. Do you want the fastest way to know what your home would sell for? Reach out to Dan Hart.
Okay, WBAP, Fort Worth, Texas, 810 miles southwest.
800-763-3000.
Incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consult.
830 WCCO, Minneapolis, Minnesota, about 310 miles to the west.
343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please.
503-225-0860. Zach, is there any more you want to wrap up with?
But let's just go to the calls since we're getting near the end of the show.
Okay, perfect. We'll do that. Let's go to Brando in Pennsylvania. Hey, Brando, you're on Ground Zero.
Hey, what's up, Pod?
Hi, how's it going? You're on the air.
So here's Louisville, Kentucky, WHAS. This is Ground Zero, and then Coast to Coast comes on at 12 a.m. to 4 a.m.
We decided to take a break and talk.
Was it too soon? I don't know. Vic, for whatever you think of him, certainly rehabilitated his image, and he's got that dog in him. So I think, end of the day.
Picking up KOA, Denver, Colorado. This is 890 miles to the west. Very nice. Rock and roll.
Femme va tenter de refaire sa vie même avec un autre homme. De son côté, Jeff Pickles, il vit dans le déni, presque aveuglé par sa quête de toujours faire le bien autour de lui. Donc l'espèce de personnage pour enfants vient un peu...
And if you're a Frenchie, you know what they're saying. It's 860 CJBC, Toronto, Ontario.
Comédie, le masque, là.
Oui.
We were able to rack up some yards and some touchdowns there late in the game. And, if we had done that earlier in the game, it probably would have been a closer game. And
This is WWL, New Orleans, Louisiana, 865 miles straight south.
I think early in the game we kind of showed
For the best record in the NFC.
On to the hardwood. The Bulls took on the Raptors tonight, and Nikola Vucevic got in the scorebook.
32 seconds remaining. 119-116 Bulls in left forward. Between the circles, Lonzo Ball leads over the bounce. 5 crossovers, 6 crossovers. Dribble drive. Folds and looks. They go left side White. Inside to the paint. And Boots puts it down to the semicircle. Timeout. Raptors.
Nothing can stop me. I'm on.
So there you go. I think that's WHSQ. Used to be WCBS.
121 over Toronto.
And that's disgusting, and I agree with you on that one. But that's exactly why we got to keep the conversation pointed at the Democrats and honestly.
So this is WLS Chicago 890. Yeah, I'm definitely 28 minutes in. I might even up the band a little bit, so this video might go a little longer. If you're okay with that, hang in there.
Let's continue. Denise in Ridgefield, New Jersey.
WFAW for Atkinson, Wisconsin. Some nice music. 9:30 before that was WKBM, I believe. Relevant Radio. Okay, so 990, we're actually moving up the list here, is CBW Winnipeg, Manitoba, 675 miles. So yeah, definitely picking up Canadian stations tonight.
Into next season, getting a new head coach and all that, how hard is it going to be for them to keep pace?
Yeah, so the 3-inch speaker, I don't know if I mentioned, 3-inch speaker on top. It's similar to the one they use in the D808. I took it apart when I saw that. It's like, yeah, the speaker looks the same. Sounds pretty good in person. You'll love it when you have it. 1,000 WMVP Chicago. I'm going to go a little quicker now. Whoops, hit bandwidth. Didn't want bandwidth. All right, my volume.
To be able to hit the ground.
Was in fact the blunt slap in the face of the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister's office. They've effectively been spending money as much as possible, laying.
Talking about Prime Ministers, I'm guessing Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles, CFRB.
I wonder what it's like.
495 South is set up in Andover at Route 28, a long-term project, a speed limit ride. 128 South closed for work at Route 114 up in Peabody. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk driving and drug driving, your grief is unique.
1030 is WBZ, Boston, Massachusetts. This is 880 miles to the northeast.
Mad help or visit mad.org. Cloudy sky, 44 degrees, Steve Perez.
WBZ traffic on the 3. Here's the 4-day WBZ AccuWeather forecast.
And it has played almost constantly since its release. And it's great.
WHO, Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles.
Hey, your movie is on.
Is America at Night with Rich Valdez.
500 steps per day. More research is still needed to determine any other factors that might have influenced the findings. Brian Clark, ABC News. And new research finds weight loss injectables are having a positive impact.
Okay, KYW on 1060. This is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 700 miles.
Bringing obesity rates down in the U.S.
My husband fell asleep, actually, and they started to get really bright. I saw, like, just a little twinkling light floating above, in front, and around a cloud. And then
Okay, I don't know if that's coast-to-coast rebroadcast. I can't hover on those, unfortunately. They copyright those. Probably because they release them on YouTube. WTAM, Cleveland, Ohio, 345 miles.
For so hours, we've been watching these things go up, down.
We didn't get to.
Exclusive. Cops in one of America's most remote states beg the feds for help over Tren de Aragua infiltration. That's in North Dakota, not exactly right next to the southern border. A reminder that Democrats, they opened up the prisons of Venezuela and brought the prisoners into...
Okay, so 1110, I think, is KFAB, Omaha, Nebraska, 405 miles to the west.
Venezuelan prisons.
And then it becomes clear that the Confederacy is really on the ropes. And a terrific job on the production and editing by our own Monty Montgomery. And a special thanks to the Bill of Rights Institute for allowing us to use this audio, originally a part of their Scholar Talk series.
So 1120 is KMOX, St. Louis, Missouri, 275 miles.
To Scholar Talk.
and it's windy also.
You figured it out. They're probably weather-controlled drones. That's probably what they're doing. I mean, we're figuring this all out. Just look at how much we figured out.
Okay, it sounds like coast to coast again. 1140 WRVA, Richmond, Virginia, 665 miles.
So, it's...
How do we learn more about your story that you may have never considered? So be your...
Between the shopping, the decorating, kids' concerts, and, oh yeah, keeping the magic alive. iHeartRadio is here to bring the joy to your busy days with commercial-free Christmas stations like iHeart Christmas.
iHeart Christmas, oh boy. 1180, this is WHAM, Wham, Rochester, New York, 545 miles. Straight northeast.
More. Rochester's news, weather, and traffic station. News Radio, Wham 1180. Depend on it.
Depend on it. Yeah.
Always a pleasure to have Kate.
The market, this might be a setup from Iran. You know what, Bob? You might be right. It's anybody's guess at this point. Sarah, Bedford, Indiana. Bernie.
1210 is WPHT, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 700 miles.
Forward in life.
Jerome, Charleston, South Carolina.
to tell you.
Go up to the top here.
Returned to the office instead of working from home. He was joined by the CEO of Japanese tech investing firm SoftBank, who pledged a $100 billion tech investment in the U.S.
Will help ensure that artificial intelligence, emerging technologies, and other industries.
So here's WLAC, Nashville, Tennessee, 434 miles south. Yeah, we're almost through here with the band scan. Yeah, it's a long one, but this radio has so many options and so much fun to talk about, so...
Winston Young found that about 2/3.
Biggest artists and the recognized trendsetters. Snoop Dogg.
When I first started, like, writing raps, I used to use that like
WCKY, Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles.
On America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your...
The one bundle. You missed some of them. And also the United States of Trump, you know, for inauguration, we're going to have a couple of specials. If you really care about Donald Trump, you know, if you have emotion invested in him.
1540 is KXEL, Waterloo, Iowa, 210 miles.
The best book ever. You're going to not work bumper sticker in your brow.
I feel like I'm on shortwave. 1610 CHHA, Toronto, Ontario, 460 miles. That music there is 1630 KCJJ, Iowa City, Iowa. It's 175 miles away.
Is going to stay, and I think that I can do that because of my years of listening to guys talk. I want to text you or tell you what a buddy texted me the other day.
Okay, 2 stations mixing there. We got KBGG, that's him talking, Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles west. And then we have a Hispanic speaker there, KKLF, Richardson, Texas, 790 miles to the southwest. All right, we're done. There it is. Awesome. Thanks for hanging in there. ATS-20 plus. Gets a vote in my book all day long. Rock on. Big thumbs up for the radio. If you like the video, awesome. Yeah, pick yourself up $130. Use links below. Check it out. Do yourself a favor. You really love this radio. And it's a ton of fun. And you don't need much to get it going. You really don't. You can just, like I said, use the included whip to do all the single sideband you want. It does very well in FM. Fantastic machine for FM. With that included whip. What the heck, you know, it's like a 29-inch whip you get with it. So use it and enjoy it. And then you can do, like I said, some medium wave a little bit with it. And then later on you can get a passive loop like this Terk Advantage, which probably costs more than the radio, but it's fun. And it's worth it totally, and it works with all radios. So definitely a worthy combination. I like it. It's fantastic. And of course, this radio has tons of options. You have a menu here. And if you haven't seen any of these options, definitely check them out on the review video. I'd probably cover not all of them, but some of them. I mean, you can see this thing has quite a few options here. You actually turn the CPU down. You can turn screen up. You can change units, what's showing, soft mute. There's no soft muting, which is nice. I turn that off on here. You're able to do that in this new firmware, and all these options here. So it's really cool that you can do all this with this radio. Of course, synchronous detection off. You can have that on. There's soft mute, SM0, the emphasis. You can change that. Don't know why you would, but there it is. There's a volume control, I believe, on single sideband as well as automatic volume control, so you don't blast your ears, because that can happen with single sideband when switching back and forth. So there you go. All right, cool. So hope you enjoyed the video. Let's exit this. So exiting. You can just hit that. Wait, nope. B-. There you are. So yeah, there you go. So yeah, if you Like what you see, definitely subscribe, hit the bell icon, get notified of deals. I tend to post them when I see these on sale on Amazon for $30. Totally worth it. And then 3, comment down below what you think about the ATS-20 Plus. Is this something you're thinking about picking up now that you've seen Todderbert hanging out with it and doing a tuning session with you guys, and you feel like some Arduino programming? It's not that hard. You don't have to program anything. The guy has all the stuff done. You just upload it. So it's that simple. But these things are great. I love it. This is like a little Chinese clone chip. It's what's inside this radio. I think this is like $3 a piece. These little nano chips. You can actually buy them and do projects with them. Make little robots and stuff. Awesome. And you can make a radio. Sweet. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention it's based on the Skyworks SI. What do you call it? Put the number in there. I forget what the DSP number. I always forget those. It's 4732-A10. I think that's what it is. Off the top of my head, I said it real fast. I think that's right. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in my next awesome video.